Hello, this is BioEnchanted, and welcome back to Soul Blazer. Today we'll be doing a bit more of the third dungeon, or set of dungeons, rather. Just making sure I had everything equipped. So this time we have somewhere else we can go, once we've cleared out this little guy. I don't want to make an anemone of you, but... sometimes it's inevitable. But before we actually go where we need to go, I'm going to head over here just to clear some areas out, because there's some stuff over here we can do now that we've cleared out a little block of land out of the way. Down in the southwest, we can't really do much here, but there are some enemies to take care of, so let's just take care of that now, shall we? These guys are really annoying because it's kind of hard to tell when they're going to be able to be hit, and sometimes it seems as though continually hitting the shoulder of your swords is a good way to bait them into getting hit more, but also it can sometimes be like that. Sometimes it seems that they actually stay in the shell if you keep hitting them, so I find it kind of difficult to remember how to hit them, and these spells aren't that useful for them because they can very easily block them with their shells by just sitting down because they're very fast. These guys are really annoying enemies, honestly. They're kind of cute though, and there's just so many of them. A billion of them, it's ridiculous. That's one of the areas we can't get to yet. That's actually going to be the last area of this whole dungeon. So let's now go to where we're actually meant to go, shall we? Up here. Once I've just double checked to make sure there aren't any things over here. There really aren't, but this is at least a decent place to kill these jellyfish, so let's just do it. Also check if there's anything here to miss. These jellyfish are really annoying to hit though. And I was just at the wrong angle. The annoying thing with the magnet thing is you have to be exactly on point when it comes to being like on the line that the orb is on. And that can be a little finicky at times. You can often end up like trying to get the orb but then missing it anyway because it just wasn't in the right square. That's better though. See, like I could have got that one, but I just wasn't in the right position to. Kind of like the lily pad area over here. It's kind of a nice little coral reef, rather. It's a nice visual thing, and it's an interesting way of adding a kind of maze-like tendency to it without just making it rocks. I like that the game has a very strong design in that way, and that it finds different ways to put obstacles in your way, as opposed to just making a maze of walls. Like, you have different kinds of walls and different variations on how they allow you to get through them. And of course there's nearly always shortcuts as well. Like that one. So let's go over here to the right hand island, shall we? This is a pretty cool one. It's very dense. There's a lot of monster portals and they're all like really close together if you know where you're going. Those big birds are still really annoying. You see, a lot of the monster portals are actually in these pools that you drain. There's also goodies there too. I quite like the design of this area. It's very compact. There's very little wasted space. It's just kind of pools, and then there's stuff in the pools when you drain them. And so you just go in the pools, take care of whatever's in there, like these monkeys, or apes rather. Don't know the librarian. Yeah. I also quite like these fish because it's quite funny when you drain the water they're jumping out, so obviously they just end up flopping uselessly. They can still be quite dangerous in that mode if you don't remember they're there, or because they're very erratic in movement, but it's at least a very funny animation. Let's just stand out the way of that rock, shall we? That's not a good position to be in. Let's just do that, shall we? Problem, of course, if the magic is directly on top of the monster when you release it, it won't actually hit the monster. Pro tip, make sure it's off the sprite, so that it can overlap with the sprite properly. Or it just won't work, it'll just waste magic. Or gems, well. Yeah, this is the island of Rockbird, I think it's what it's called. There we go, now we can go through there. Now the bird spots. It's kind of interesting, some tiles just have one fairly big enemy. And some of them have multiple birds as well, it's kind of all over the place. Always nice to have a little extra experience from the magical gem lady. I think it's probably one of my favourite dungeons because of the sheer amount of variety in the locations. I mentioned that before, but I thought I'd reiterate it. It's worth pointing out that there was just like every single like floor, so to speak, is an entirely different location with its own gimmicks and its own layouts and its own identity generally. And I find that really interesting. I quite like this very varied archipelago we're currently exploring. So all the other dungeons tend to have like a couple of floors with a very similar look, and then maybe like some extra different stuff, and then it's just kind of back to the original look, or the extra stuff just lasts the entire rest of the dungeon. But this one's like every single floor is a completely distinct location with its own thing going on, and that's always really fun. Got a lot of little rock boys to take care of here. The little clams that kind of... Well, as well, it was like they're actually clams disguising themselves as rockets in natural camouflage. And now we have a million things, so let's just try and kill everything, shall we? We're in kind of a bad situation right there, we go. Magic, magic for everyone. Everyone gets blown up with magic. This is why I love this quad direction magic. It's just so powerful when you hit. And there we have it. Remaining 4 monster layers. Let's clear them out, shall we? We know who to talk to first when we get back. Don't really have any context for that yet, but we'll see that fairly soon. Now we've released the mermaid statue, we can actually get to the next area now. So now that's Rockbird Island complete. Let's move on, shall we? You know, it could have been a cute pun actually if they'd made the name just Rock Island but spelled R-O-C. I would have liked that. For those that don't play the Zelda games, Rock is kind of a mythological bird, basically. Now we're going to Durian. I'm pretty sure it tastes nice, but I've heard it smells terrible there. Well, first of all, let's explore these new characters that we've unlocked, and see what we can learn from them, shall we? Of course, she can heal us, and that's always nice to have a free heal. Oop. That's an interesting chest, but for later. I quite like the feel of the whole, like, it has a very ancient ruins feel, because you can see, like, the foundations of what was once buildings still kind of hanging out there. It's kind of like when you have an archaeological dig, and you have those little, like, inch-high walls that all that remains of the world below you. It's like before you, like, it came before. It's an interesting visual, and it's a good kind of hint that there'll be something there later to stand in. Went into a bit of a Roomba mode there, doing a little vacuuming. Let's move on, shall we? This sounds a little annoying, but we have the starfish, so... I mean the angelfish. So it'll be less annoying, because of course this is Durian, the volcanic isle, so the whole magma rain thing comes in relevant here. As we'll see in a few minutes when we finish dealing with jellyfish. Where's SpongeBob when you need him? There we are. And seahorses. These mantas are kind of annoying because I can't recall if we've seen them before, but they shoot electricity at you if you don't kill them fast enough, and that can be kind of annoying to, like that. There we are, and they can be a little bit annoying to avoid that with because it's a really big ball of electricity that's about the entire size of their sprite. Easy to predict and know it's coming, it's just a little annoying to deal with. There we go. So let's move on to this next island, shall we? Let's go to Durian. They weren't kidding when they said volcano. The big ball of light here you see this time is protecting us from the rain of lava that you can see all around us right now. That keeps those fireballs falling from the sky. If we didn't have this, they'd be landing directly on us and getting in our way. But because the big ring of light is here, it just kind of deletes them as they're falling, and that's very helpful. It means we're not taking continual damage from getting rained on with lava. I guess it's also protecting us from convection, but the game seems to forget. Every game seems to forget convection exists. These are dangerous, though. We can't do anything about these yet. The silver monkeys are too strong to hurt right now. Let's just avoid them, shall we? Best we can. And of course, the problem with the fireballs is they can still hit us if the ring of the light is right at the bottom of the light coming from the top, because they just kind of just touch you before the ring deletes them. So that it's still a very dangerous place to be. It's just more manageable now. This place is also way more circuitous and way more, not quite difficult, but like when you know the routes, but it can be kind of easy to get tripped up, because you see these lava pools over here on the upper ledge there. You may think, oh, fire armor, That's good against fire. No, this isn't fire. It's lava. It's different things. That armor does not protect us here. If we stand on the lava, we will get killed very quickly. So let's avoid it, shall we? However, we do have ways of dealing with these areas. We have a key item that we picked up a while ago that will come in handy here. Oh, come on. There we go. So annoying when you miss. There we go. Happily he walked right into that one. That was nice of him. Those guys we can't really get to right now. Birds though. How eerie. It was an eagle pun. There we are. Oop. Almost got rocked. And fireballed. And here we are, the house is finally here. I do quite like though that the foundation you see is kind of like the footprints of the house. It's kind of neat that it's actually what the house's layout is. Pause, where I was about to get a hit there. Happily I switched to the medical herb basically just in time too, because the next hit would have killed me. I had a defense bracelet on, wouldn't have done too much good. Got a strange bottle, but I'm not using those because that requires dying. And I just rather not deal with that. There we are. Health back. Let's get the defense back on now. Now we can finally go on to the next layer. And of course these layers is where things get kind of difficult to navigate. Kind of annoying the enemies can't get hit by the fireballs as well. That kind of is a missed opportunity. It feels like it would be quite satisfying if an enemy flying towards you only to get picked off by a fireball. Then again though, it would probably be hard to make it distinguish between normal enemies and the rock enemies, like the rock apes that we can't kill yet. So that probably would just break the area entirely and allow us to kill things before we're meant to. Because for the enemies that we can't kill yet, there's actually a reason we can't kill them yet. Quite simply, the rewards would be too good, and we couldn't even use them yet. We'll see that when we see that later on in the game, but just take my word for that right now, that we really just have no use for killing the strongest enemies, so we're just not going to. There we go. Happily there wasn't one hiding in the bottom of the lava, that would have really been cheeky. But the game's not really that cool, it's actually fairly put together. And made by people that want to beat the game and play it and have fun with it, because it's a fun game. It's got some interesting variety to it, and some neat ideas for spells, even if some of them aren't particularly useful. Some spells I want to see a bit crap, but we'll see that when we see it. I'll try and use some of them, just to show them off, but a lot of them, I just kind of stuck with this one, because a lot of them are just not worth it. There's a lot of back and forth going on here, but finally we're here. So, remember that mermaid's tear we picked up? So, turn magma to stone. There we are. Now the volcano is harmless. This island is completely safe except for the rock apes, and now we can just explore it at our leisure. So let's do so, shall we? Finally get those last couple of monster layers that we couldn't get. There we are. So taking care of these last couple of guys. Triad. Quartet! Okay, there's a lot of you, aren't there? Like a whole civilization of monkeys there we are. Let's go around the right hand side, we have to deal with the rock apes. Oh, and also that guy, that chest. Let's grab that, shall we? No, I know, we're dealing with the rock apes. Just remembered. There's our third mermaid statue. Not many more to go. Literally one more. Now we get the chest. Oh, after grabbing this guy. Whoop. That's an interesting placement for that mermaid. I wonder if that's significant. And a better sword. Basically has a chance to instant kill things. Still not strong enough for the rock apes though. We'll have to deal with those later. Way later. The neat thing is that generally we kind of return to the dungeons in the order we initially go to them, like you get the sword that can kill metal stuff before you get the sword that can kill the rock apes, that kind of thing. So you kind of go back to dungeons like in the order you go to them in the first place. Which keeps a nice sense of progression and it keeps from having a kind of, ooh, have I gone back there yet and finished that off yet kind of feeling. It helps you remember, and yeah, look how powerful a critical sword is, even when it's not instant killing, it's a really good sword. Of course, mermaid statue. Maybe the little, the goddess statue, I only forgot to use her to get back. Way faster. There we are. First things first. But don't forget. Blester. That'll be next time. Blester is kind of a pain. Well, that's for them. This is now. Let's see what this mermaid's all about, shall we? Yeah, I had a feeling there was something important there. And our final dancing mermaid, too. Nana. Anna, Nana, and Banana. Kidding, I can't remember what the third one's called. Let's just dance with the mermaids a little bit. It serves absolutely no purpose, but it's just really cute. I kind of like that. I like that you can dance with the mermaids. It's just a really nice little thing to do. Now we actually are allowed to hear now that there's actually something here to go through. So let's speak to Louis the Dolphin and his friend, who was actually mentioned in the letter as well. One of the many friends of Dr. Leo, along with Turbo, I think it was the name of the dog. Oh no, the queen got corrupted by the blue stone. Our very dark cloud one. And now we have a ring, the lightning ring. Kinda skipped over there, sorry about that. The lightning ring will be very useful in Blester. It's got a little bit like, it's a bit weird to use, but it's kind of neat. Annoyingly, she's not going to let us get out though. We have to go the long way for that. She's very dedicated to guarding, even when it's clearly already been breached. This dolphin's kind of neat. Standing on Dolphin's nose gets us all the way to the north. And to that treasure chest up there. Apparently you can have, see little bits of like... It's not quite the dungeon we're in, but you can see kind of... it's almost like there's the idea of the dungeon we were just in. We can just kind of see what's underneath the palace. That's where we're going for the actual thing, even though it looks nothing like that. It's not. I'll try and show it off on Blester, but it's terrible. And you'll see why. I tried to use it, I really did. When I was doing test run of this, I tried to use Flare. powers click to a button press, you have to charge it up and fire it, but it's such a weird spell, I can't work out how to make it actually work properly. But again, we'll see that later. It's just one of the many reasons I tend to stick to the Magic Blast and 4 Direction one, the second one. We've not got much else to do now though, so next time we'll be going to the Isle of Blester, and then also the final part, and also the boss of this area. I'll see you then. Bye.